Hello and welcome to another episode of Media Snack Meets. Today I'm delighted to be joined by Christian Juhl, Global CEO of Essence. So welcome Christian, welcome to ID Comms and welcome to Media Snack.
Thanks for having me.
What brings you to London?
I came in last week to meet with our global leadership team. So we meet 2 or 3 times around the year, and this year obviously our team has expanded. So it was nice to be able to sit down with them for a couple days, go through the business and look at what we're planning for 2018.
Good. Now, I know that we can't talk about the Sir Martin Sorrell situation at the moment because probably you don't know a great deal about it anyway. But what I am interested to find out is, as an agency leader within WPP, what are you communicating to your clients? What is the narrative that you're sharing with your clients just to reassure them perhaps of the situation?
Sure. Essence is a very client-centric organization to begin with. We've reached out and talked to all of our different clients about what's happening in the space and our maintained focus on business as usual. WPP is a very deep organization. There's a lot of really talented folks, and Martin Sorrell is very, very unique, obviously, and he's been incredibly supportive of Essence throughout our time with WPP. And I have every assurance that the new leadership structure will do the same. We both, we know Andrew very well, and we know Mark very well, and both of them are integral to bringing Essence in and the continued support that we've enjoyed. So, I think business as usual, working on our clients, working on our employees, continuing on our mission, vision, and values that Essence set up 13 years ago.
Very good, thank you. Okay, so let's just talk a little bit about Essence. So, would you describe yourselves as a digital agency or as an integrated media network?
Well, not to be the tricky interviewee, but neither.
Okay.
I think that when you look at us, and certainly it was born out of a digital realm. I think last year when you saw us taking on clients that look more 360 degrees, British Telecom, you look at Target, you look at NBC Universal. Now we do close to $3 billion in billings, and half of that are traditional. What becomes important in that realm for us, and the differentiator that Essence is bringing to the market is our definition of digital would be more around technology and data and measurement, and the ability to bring that thinking into all types of media. So in that sense, I would almost say we're more of a data and measurement agency that applies it to media versus a full service agency or a digital agency. I think more and more people are realizing that the definition of digital is really all about data and measurement, and then harnessing the technology to be able to actually process that at the scale that's needed to do when you're looking at the literally billions of interactions that our brands are with every day.
And so when WPP acquired you in 2015, to great fanfare within the industry, how have you been able to maintain your kind of cultural integrity, if you like, as being part of the biggest holding group in the world?
Yeah, it's a great question. It's one of the things that kept us up latest at night, I think, when we were contemplating selling, and certainly into the largest holding company in the world with WPP. I guess interestingly for us, they approached us with much of the same concern and said, we only want to acquire you guys if we can find a way to keep Essence intact in the way it is, and that you represent something different in the marketplace. You have a very unique culture that's very engineering and software based, and how do we protect that in a way that allows you to be you, and even potentially provide spillover benefit into Group M and into WPP so that we can emulate some of the things that have been successful for you. So obviously there's all the normal things you would do around protections or just in terms of a contract. Sure. But I think beyond that, it's the real spirit and the belief that Essence represents a different approach in the marketplace. And it's something that the way we recruit our people, the way we train our people, the way that our offices are all open-based. I had one of the very senior executives over at Google to our office last week, and he's kind of walking around and he goes, your offices feel just like Google. And I said, well, you obviously had a heavy hand in the formation of this agency, and the culture is very informed by that. So I'd say it hasn't been a burden to try and protect it, because Group M and WPP have also been insistent upon it. I think for us, we're a very people-based organization. We're all about ideas and measurement and trying new types of formats and thinking in order to bring that to life, and that's attractive to our employees. As long as we continue down that path, I think we'll be okay.
And you mentioned Google, and famously you were known as Google's agency, right? And that provides you with a certain kind of profile. Now that you are with the injection of Group M capital that came in 2017, and you became one of the 4 big global networks. How do you kind of profile your clients versus the clients that Group M are going to be expecting you to go after as now having greater responsibility and accountability for Pat's P&L within the group?
Yeah, I mean, we're really fortunate to have the client portfolio that we have. We have a good mix of brand advertisers, direct advertisers, performance-based clients. The one attribute they all share and that we look for in clients going forward is this desire to transform their media organizations to something that's really focused around understanding interactions and creating better value between consumers and brands. So our mission is to make advertising more valuable to the world. When we talk about that, for us, it's really about actually creating better value exchange between publisher, client, and brands in such a way that maybe we reduce the amount of advertising that people are exposed to, but that it's much more meaningful. And so consumers are more appreciative. Maybe creators are actually paid a little bit more of what they're worth. And brands are certainly benefiting from an appropriate brand exposure in such a way that they're building their story and able to talk about the value they have. Our clients embrace that. And so for us, that allows us to push the envelope a little harder, to work with the ecosystem a little bit more, to get some of the types of unique opportunities that we want in the market, and to advance the agenda in those spaces. So it's a great place for us. I think a lot of times we end up helping clients understand their own organization structures better, understand technology better, understand how they work with some of their different agency partners. That's a really fun place to be. Sometimes I think we look more like consultants like you guys than we do an agency.
And are you preaching to the converted, or is that a relatively challenging sell or narrative at this stage? Or are you opening the doors and people and clients are flooding in because these are the questions they're asking, or are you provoking these questions because they need to ask them internally?
It's a good question. I'd love to say, everybody's converted and this is the new religion that people want to discuss. I think people are struggling to understand it right now. I'm speaking specifically about clients. I mean, it's a really challenging time. You're looking at transparency issues, fraud issues, agencies going through massive restructuring, and I think there's some confusion in that space. So I think we get a lot of briefs around, transformation or programmatic, and I think what's hard is what we're talking about is, well, can we think about the market a little bit differently? And that takes a kind of a top-down approach versus a brief that comes in on, help us with analytics or help us with a measurement problem. But we're still a commercial business, and we're out there trying to win business and trust from our clients. So we look at every opportunity as best we can, and we take it as it comes.
Good answer. And finally, 2 final questions, if that's okay. If you were a marketeer or a brand leader, what would be keeping you awake at night?
I mean, we've touched on some of the issues. I think if I was to summarize it all, I would just say my true understanding of the interactions that I have with my consumers in the market. And can I unravel that to understand, the media interactions, the brand interactions, my ability to trust my partners and an ecosystem of my agencies and my suppliers so that I knew everybody, was giving me the absolute granular level of truth that I need in this complicated and fragmented world to understand what's working and what's not.
Good. And as an agency leader, practically, what keeps you awake at night?
I mean, honestly, it's my people. I think, we're in a world right now where talent is scarce, attrition is high. We have competitors coming from every different direction, and I really want to make sure that what ultimately makes an agency special is the people that you attract and keep and develop. And we've got some incredible, we call them essentials. We have some incredible essentials who started right out of university with us, and I know every day their phone's ringing to go somewhere else and do something else. And so as best I can create the environment and the clients and the work that keeps them interested, it's the most important thing I can possibly do as a CEO. Fantastic.
Christian, thank you so much for your time, for your insight. I wish you the best of luck in the future. That's it for this week's Media Snack Meets. See you next time.